California law tries to force Tesla to rename FSD. This naming thing.
You might be happy with this.
This naming thing. Well, we've talked about this naming thing in the past. More around autopilot. How I actually just, every time someone's asking me what's going on with the Tesla and the self-driving stuff, this always throws people off. I'm talking about the general public. When you talk about FSD beta or, well, just FSD now, I guess it's, well, I don't know, is it still beta? Anyway, autopilot was just, felt so much better in the mouth.
Yeah.
Tesla autopilot. No, I don't know if they obviously, I don't know if they're trying to get away, but they still call it autopilot, don't they?
They do, yeah. There's different levels of autopilot as well. Because you can pay for a service for autopilot.
It just seems like you're not hearing people say autopilot anymore. People seem to refer to what we're doing now, certainly those of us that have opted into it as FSD.
Yeah.
At that level. But you see, your car, you don't have self-driving, right? So do you have, what version of autopilot do you have?
I have the most basic of autopilots, but then there's another autopilot, the step up, the upgraded version where you have to pay.
So what does your version of autopilot do if you don't pay them any extra?
It comes with the car.
No, but what does it do? What are the capabilities?
It has cruise control.
Adaptive. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It stays in your lane. There's no lane changing. There's no auto summon, that kind of stuff.
Still useful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, there's levels to it. When we get to FSD, that's like intersections, left-hand turns. That's where the magic happens, is at FSD. However, I understand why there'd be apprehension around those terms. You're still monitoring the vehicle. It's not 100% perfect, but it is magic. I'm just going to go out there and say it. It's magic, dude. Like this is, as a person who's used it, put some miles on it and just did some road trips with it. To me, I have a ton of appreciation for it. I'm not, whatever. Call me a fanboy. I'm definitely not a fanboy. Like, I was incredibly skeptical and reluctant. But for me, it's magic. However,
it's only going to get better.
But should it be called full self-driving is the issue.
I don't believe so.
And so obviously it's what legislators and lawyers are talking about. And listen, when you enable the full self-driving, you accept the terms, there's a huge disclaimer in there of everything you're accepting and everything it can and can't do and how you have to monitor it. Sure. And it's constantly asking you to prove you're alive and awake. So even though it's called full self-driving, there's tons of checks and balances in there that implies to you otherwise. It's full self-driving plus star asterisk whatever. I don't know if it'll end up being called that in the long run. It's an ambitious name, obviously.
Yeah.
You looking for something specifically?
No.
Oh.
I just think, it shouldn't be called that. But what should it be called then, if that's the case?
Well, autopilot was totally fun and cool, but I guess that means something else inside of Tesla right now. Like you're saying, you have a version of autopilot. Autopilot refers to any amount of autonomy at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you need the full in there? Can it just be called SD, self-driving? It's definitely doing elements of self-driving.
Yeah.
SSD, sort of self-driving.
Sort of.
AFSD, almost full self-driving.
And you don't want to add the beta in there.
Full self-driving, sort of.
Beta to a certain level, right?
Full self-driving capability. I mean, it does fully self-drive. It does fully self-drive. It's just not 100% perfect. I don't know. Like, would you say a human has full self-driving capability?
No.
No. They drive, but they also make tons of mistakes. I don't know. We'll see what it ends up being called long term, but you know how Elon feels about California anyway, Will.
Sure, yeah.